Hey everybody, it's Morphin Time with the ATLRed Ranger here, and I'm bringing you guys another deck profile. It's the same deck profile it's another deck profile of the same deck that you guys have been seeing for about a month now. Of course, it's Prophecy, but I have a regional coming up, and I wanted to do some things differently because the meta is different now than it was about a month ago. So let's just get into it. Now, before I was running 3 Temperance, but now I cut it down to add 1 Justice of Prophecy. I like Justice. She's okay. I like Temperance better, but sometimes I like to exchange books. So like, say I have Justice and I want Secrets in my hand for like next turn. So like, I'll play Justice and then I'll just Secrets her or Wisdom her, and then banish her to go get Secrets for next turn. I play 2 Temperance now. I still love Temperance. Since I don't play the world build, Temperance isn't he isn't needed. Like, I don't need to see him as often, so that's why I cut him down to 2. I still like first turn. Like, same thing with Justice. If my opponent has a monster on board or something like that, and I need Priestess, then I just Wisdom him, Tribute, go get Priestess, banish whatever I use to get his effect off, and then run over whatever I need to. And of course, it's 3 Blue Boy and 3 Priestess. But what I did was I took out Breakers. Breakers is really good. I love Breaker, but I feel like the amount of back row hate that I had before isn't necessary. Especially like with Sinister Shadow games running around, like they'll just chain it, and back row hate just isn't as important as it used to be. So I decided to main 2 Veilers. Veiler is really good because it stops the Neb. It stops just a lot of things. It stops the Neb, stops Curry Bandit, stops all that stuff. I feel like she got the Armada where it's end of turn and not until the end phase, so it's until the end of the turn. I might be wrong, but I know that a lot of people say that end of the turn, it's not end of the turn. I could be wrong, but Fate Veiler just stops a lot of stuff. The Nebs stops, if they flip up Falcon or Falco or Lizard or something like that, and you want to stop those things. It's really good. And of course, I run the typical Prophecy stuff. 3 Spellbook of Secrets, 2 Master, 2 Eternity, 2 Wisdom, 2 Tower, 1 Spellbook Library of the Crescent. I don't know if I actually like Crescent. If I don't draw it first turn, or if I don't play it first turn, if I don't Secret or Blue Boy into Library of the Crescent first turn, it's just dead to me sometimes. Like, sure enough, I can like banish it for Priestess's effect to go do whatever, but I don't know. I feel like maybe there's a better card, a different card that I could use, but until I find that card, it's in there. 1 Power, of course, 1 Fate, and 1 Life. I really like Life. Like, it's not something I like enough to put up to 2 because you don't need it that often, but you can go Veiler, and then if a Priestess is in the graveyard or a Temperance is in the graveyard, you can Spellbook a Life, your banish Veiler, go get Priestess, and it's just really good. Of course, I run 2 MST. I still hate back row, but back row's a thing, but I don't have to be afraid of artifacts that much because people aren't running the artifact ninja as much as they used to. Hat's not a deck that I have to worry about as much anymore. So MST is still good. Pop the prisons or Fiendish Chains or pop breakthroughs before they happen. I'm a big fan of blind MST. I know it's bad, but I love blind MST. I run 3 Pot Duality. I don't know if I want to cut it down to 2 or not. Sometimes it like bites me when I have 2 spellbooks in hand and I have a Priestess in hand, and I'm like, well, damn, now I got to use this Pot Duality and I still can't activate Priestess. So I don't know if I want to cut it down to 2 or if I like it at 3. I run 3 Deep Prison. I love Deep Prison. Deep Prison, I would run at least 4 or 5 of them if I could. Like, Deep Prison is so good. I run 2 Fiendish. Like I said, effects are really big this meta. I want to stop all the effects that I can because effects really run the game. If I can stop the effects, then I can stop whatever. Like Deneb, I can stop, anything. I can stop Exciton, I can stop 101, I can stop Bulkasaurus, anything. I just need to stop. And I like Phoenix Chain because they don't get to attack. So like if I have Blue Boy out, I'm not losing that damage. And then next turn I could just swap them to defense mode. Next, I run Breakthrough Skills. Breakthrough Skill is really, really good. Like I said, I like to stop the nabs and all that other stuff. But on my turn, I can banish to stop Winda. So like Winda's effect is negated, so that way if I ever need to, I can special summon twice on one turn. I run Transmigration Prophecy. I really like Transmigration Prophecy. Like I was playing the mirror match against one of my friends, and he only had a Blue Boy engrave, and I had set Transmigration Prophecy. So on his turn, when he went, or on my turn, at the end of my turn, I Transmigration his Blue Boy, and one of his useless books, or one of the books that I didn't want engraved, like, you know, like a Fate or something like that, I stopped him, and he like went to go activate effect, and I was like, you can't. And he was like, well, you know, you're right, because I don't have a spellbook or a spellcaster in my graveyard, which is really good. Transmigration Prophecy stops a lot of stuff. Like when they go to Soul Charge, you can spin back to their targets. You know, a lot of people only like target one or two things. So if you spin those back, you stop their play. It's really good. And of course, Compulsory Evacuation Device. Compulsory is probably the best card in the game, like the best trap card in the game by far. It just bounces. Like, it doesn't go back to your deck. Well, it does go back to your deck, but 9 times out of 10 it goes back to your hand. Like your bounced Exceed or your bounced Synchro goes to the extra deck, but that's fine because you have to waste resources to do it again. And if you can bounce something back to the hand like that, it's just devastating. With Valor, I added a couple synchros like Crimson Blader, of course, staple synchros like Crimson Blader, Scrap Dragon, Stardust Dragon. I probably won't add like things like Army Arm. I don't synchro very often, but if I need to, I will. Downright Magician. I like Downright Magician. I added her to the extra deck. At first I wasn't planning on using an extra deck, but I feel like sometimes I have monsters and sometimes I wish I had an extra deck to go into, like 2 useless Blue Boys who are just sitting in defense position. Could be a Gotchi or something like that. I also run 1 Zen Mains. I run 1 Hierophant of the Prophecy just because I know it could be like a Big Eye or a Draco Sack or something like that, but you know. I run Hair of Pure Light. I run Ghost Trick So Cute Boss, and then I run Gotchi. And then for my extra deck, I run 2 in the Band Played On. And the Band Played On is really, really good. I feel like it stops, well, I know it stops a lot of Deneb plays, a lot of Satella plays, which is really important in this meta. Chain Disappearance, I'll run this at 2. I need to find another one. Chain Disappearance is really, really good. Like if you can hit like a Falco or something like that, it just stops a lot of their plays, and that's really, really important. Dark Bribe, I know a lot of people say that giving your opponent the +1 is really bad, but it's not really a +1 because you just negged on them. So like they wasted well, they didn't waste it, but they used up a spell, so that it's a 1-for-1. And I think it's really important to get that 1-for-1. Like if you could stop their Soul Charge, that's really important. If you could stop, you know, anything, like if you could stop the counter trap for Satella Knights, or if you could stop their, you know, the Sinister Shadow games. It's just a lot of stuff. You can stop Sanctum. It's just a lot of stuff that needs to be stopped. And you can also hit spells with that. So like if they Dark Hole or if they Book of Moon or something like that, it's really important that you stop those things. I run 1 Dark Hole. I run in the side because 9 times out of 10 I want my cards on the field and I don't want to waste the wisdom for my own card. So I just run it inside. I'm thinking about maining D-Fissure. D-Fissure just really isn't that big of a deal for me. But I still have Tower, and I can't activate Tower if all of my things are banished. I run 1 Magician of Faith. I like Magician of Faith. It's cool. It's not something that I want to main, but you know, it's just something outside to get back a Dark Hole or something like that. I run 2 Shadow Prison Mirrors. I will definitely bump this to 3 when I get it. Burning Abyss is a thing. Shadows are a thing. Just a lot of cards that don't need to have their effects activate. Shadow Imprisoning Mirror is the thing to go to. I kind of want to activate Light Imprisoning Mirror, or add Light Imprisoning Mirror, but I don't have the room for Light Imprisoning Mirror. And of course, well, not of course, but I do run through Wiretap. I love Wiretap. I was debating on maining it, but Breakthrough Skill was more main material because stopping their plays game 1 is way more important. Like winning game 1 is very, very important. Like game 1 is very important because that means that your opponent has to win game 2 and game 3. So I thought that, you know, siding in wiretaps was better than maining them because I want to main the things that stop them game 1 and then siding the stuff that stops them game 2. Like if I can stop there, I don't really want to stop Lightning Prisoner Mirror, but if I can, I will. Or stop there, like I said, Sinister Shadow games, their counter traps, stuff like that. Wiretap, stuff like that is really good. And that's about it. And if you guys have any questions, please comment them. And if you guys enjoyed the video, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.